While Toyota has been slower than other legacy automakers to adopt electrification, it has hit the throttle on EV innovation to catch up. Toyota, one of the world's largest automakers, is planning to invest 4 trillion yen to build a full lineup of 30 battery-powered electric vehicles by 2030. Looks like the automaker has finally decided to go electric, but what does this mean for Toyota? Let's find out. Hey everyone, welcome to our channel. In today's video, we are going to talk about Toyota's EV plans and how they are going to set the entire car industry in shock. So, let's get started. From the very beginning, it seems like Toyota wasn't so keen on jumping into the EV wave, up until now. Akio Toyoda, the CEO of Toyota, took the center stage last year in December to tell the world of his ambitious electrification plans. And the mic drop was with the 15 vibrant EV prototypes, including revived names of long-lost Toyota and Lexus offerings. The bundle included small, funky, and boxy city cars, clearly for Japan, some cool-looking sports coupes, hinting at reincarnations of the Toyota MR2 and Lexus LFA, a colorful recreation SUV, possible a return of Toyota FJ Cruiser, and a sinister pack of Lexus EVs. While many of these concepts will take a long time to become a reality, there are a few that we could get our hands on in the next 5 years. So, Toyota is ramping up its electric vehicle production schedule, vowing to release 30 electric vehicles by 2030, rather than just 15 EVs by 2025, as was previously promised. The Japanese automaker also vowed to sell 3.5 million battery EVs globally by 2030, and to transform Lexus into an EV-only brand by 2035. In addition, the company said it would invest 4 trillion yen in battery vehicle technology, an increase over its previous commitment of 1.5 trillion yen. But the question is, can Toyota really become the next EV king? In the EV field, Tesla is widely seen as the leading driver of innovation. The company changed the face of the market with the launch of its 2012 Model S sedan, proving that EVs could offer reasonable range, excellent performance, and be desirable to customers, paving the way for the dozens of new EV models launching across the market. However, while the Californian startup has been generating headlines with each new iteration of its products, the legacy auto industry has been steadily gearing up its EV strategies to compete. In particular, Toyota is making strong headway into EV development after a somewhat slow start in the sector. Talking about Toyota, the Japanese automaker was the largest automaker by sales volume in 2020, but has been more hesitant than many established rivals to drive into the large-scale EV production. This is partially down to Toyota's market leadership and extensive R&D in hybrid electric drivetrains that use nickel metal hydride battery packs, which the company will be reluctant to abandon for purely battery electric vehicle powered by lithium-ion cells. Toyota's hand has been forced, however, by the industry-wide move to adopt battery EVs as regional regulators begin to define timelines to outlaw the sales of combustion-powered cars, with other automakers making strong commitments to abandon combustion engines and electrify their lineups. Toyota has now responded with its own line of battery EV models. These will sit in its new BZ range, with the first model, the BZ4X, due on sale in mid-2022. In addition, Toyota has recently revealed more key details about the BZ4X, but one particular design decision stands out among the rest: the company's decision to fit an airplane yoke-style steering wheel to some models. This will initially be offered in the Chinese market as part of the One Motion Grip package and swaps out a traditional round steering wheel for a somewhat rectangular yoke with grips on either side for your hands. This echoes Tesla's decision to offer the heavily upgraded 2022 Model S with a yoke steering wheel, which received a mixed response due to its perceived ergonomic shortcomings. For example, some users complained about accidentally pressing the touch-sensitive horn button while maneuvering the car. Toyota Systems aims to fix those complaints, however, with the most significant improvement being the decision to pair the yoke wheel with an ultra-short steering rack. On the other hand, Tesla's Model S yoke comes with the same length steering rack as the regular wheel, meaning you have to turn the yoke through hundreds of degrees of rotation to reach full steering lock. This is difficult because it calls for the driver to change hand positions, which is harder on a yoke than a typical round steering wheel. Toyota, on the other hand, has fitted cars with One Motion Grip with a short 150-degree lock-to-lock turn. This means drivers will not need to change their hand positions to reach full left or right lock, making maneuvers easier. Toyota has also fitted physical buttons in place of Tesla's touch-sensitive ones, which are harder to activate by accident. Moreover, One Motion Grip also breaks the mold behind the scenes. The system is entirely drive-by-wire, meaning there are no mechanical connections between the steering wheel and the steering axle. The wheel position is electronically interpreted by a motor on the steering axle, which turns the front wheels in the requested direction. The isolation of the steering wheel and the front axle also means that the system can be selective about the haptic feedback it sends to the driver through the wheel. In practice, this will likely see it used to tune out unwanted steering vibrations to help reduce driver fatigue. So far, no automaker has fitted steer-by-wire to a production car due to the potential risks of failure leading to a dangerous loss of steering control. However, the benefits of steer-by-wire are expected to outweigh the risks as semi-autonomous driving systems become more common. Having no mechanical connection makes integrating automated steering systems more straightforward, and in addition, means the steering wheel itself does not need to turn with the wheel when driving autonomously. This benefit is further enhanced by the wheel's yoke shape that permits more knee room than a regular steering wheel, which will make the cabin more comfortable for the human driver when the system is driving itself. So, while Toyota has been slower than other legacy automakers to adopt electrification, lagging behind faster-moving OEMs such as Volkswagen and General Motors, it has hit the throttle on EV innovation to catch up. Global Data's patent database reveals that, of patents applied for in the EV space, Toyota has significantly more than any of the nearest rivals. The Japanese automaker has seen a total of 22,668 patent applications and grants in the EV sector over the last 20 years, more than doubling the figure of the next highest assignee, Honda. This drive to innovate in the EV space should help Toyota rapidly catch up with other legacy automakers' EV strategies and possibly compete toe-to-toe with Tesla's forward-thinking lineup. In addition, Toyota was an early pioneer in electrification, helping pave the way for companies like Tesla and others by proving that vehicles with alternative powertrains could be immensely popular, but the company has since fallen far behind its competitors. Furthermore, companies like Nissan, General Motors, and Volkswagen have been selling pure battery electric vehicles for years, while also revealing their plans to phase out gas cars completely. Toyota, meanwhile, has yet to release a long-range electric vehicle, and the company's top executives, including billionaire CEO Akio Toyoda, have been on the record calling the trend toward electric vehicles overhyped, in part because of emissions associated with power plants, which is a favorite talking point used by the oil and gas industry. But in an event last year, Toyota changed its tune, touting the need for the company to reduce tailpipe emissions by releasing more EVs. I believe that achieving carbon neutrality means realizing a world in which all people living on this planet continue to live happily, Toyota said. We want to help realize such a world. This has been and will continue to be Toyota's wish and our mission as a global company. For that challenge, we need to reduce CO2 emissions as much as possible, as soon as possible. As part of the announcement, Toyota showed several dozen concept vehicles, including sedans, sports cars, crossovers, SUVs, pickup trucks, and even a couple of boxy shuttles. The company didn't release many details about each vehicle, but did note that a planned Lexus sports car would have a cruising range of 700 kilometers and be able to accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in under 2 seconds. In addition, Toyota's first long-range EV, the bZ4X compact SUV, is expected to be released in the US in mid-2022. Apart from this, Toyota is planning on spending some of its promised 4 trillion yen in the US. Furthermore, the company recently announced a $1.29 billion battery factory in North Carolina as part of its plan to invest around $13.6 billion in battery tech over the next decade. So it finally looks like the automaker has set the target to defy all the rules and take over the EV market with its new lineup. Considering Toyota's huge EV plans, it will hardly take a decade for the automaker to beat Tesla and its other leading rivals. And this is it for today, guys. What are your thoughts on today's video? Let us know in the comments section below. And if you liked the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. And thank you for watching.